Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com, and I've got a box here filled with a ROGBID Brave Pro and everything that comes with it, and I mean everything. This puppy has these specs, at least that's what it's claiming, and we'll take a look at a little bit about that in a moment, but let's pop the lid, show you the manual, and dig out the watch. It's got its little cover on it, which I had to peel off for some stuff and put back on. It normally sticks a little better than that. It's not a screen protector, it's just a cover. The watch has got this nice silicone TPU style of a band to use underwater if you're going to go underwater, because the thing is claiming a pretty decent waterproof IP68 rating, and that vacillates back and forth with the LEM14, its sister watch, of up to 5 atmosphere, 5 ATM, or 50 feet under 50 meters. I get my units right. 50 meters underwater, 150 feet roughly swimming. We're not going to test that on this one. However, I do have a video up on the LEMFO LEM14 in a little shallow underwater tray to show you basically what it'll do and how it'll perform underwater. This one should be the same. Pretty much, because the watches come from the same factory. We'll get into more of the box, but first I want to show you. It's coming to us from TomTop. They are bringing us the Brave Pro at a really decent, about $170. And check the show notes. I might have a coupon to even bring it down for you from there if possible. Here's the overall spec sheet, and you'll notice that I've circled a few items. Those are the items that are in contest on whether they're accurate or not. And in an upcoming video, I'm going to be doing a comparison between the Brave Pro and the LEMFO LEM14 in doing things like checking out the actual diameter of the screen, checking out the actual resolution of the pictures that are taken with the camera, and doing some specialized battery testing. But that's not in this one. This is a quick overview review of the watch. Now, because it is basically the same in operation of Android 10 watches like the LEM14, I'm going to refer you to that video if you want details of how it operates, and we won't go over all of that again. Mostly what you need to see is the unboxing and basic turning it on and checking some of the watch faces. Now, just like the LEM14, it's shipping with 2 different bands. This is interesting. This is the rubberized TPU type of a band, and this one is a black leather band that you can put on it. It's got brown underneath, but that's not what shows. What shows is the black. So now you have a decision point, because when you look at the LEM14, you'll see it comes with a black band like this one and a brown band, and you'll see that in the comparison video coming up. This one gives you a choice of these 2 black options here as well. You can tell on the buying page that there's only one choice. Sometimes you'll see multiple choices that you can get. This is what you get. This is what comes in the box, and you get these 2 different bands. Now it gets good. Inside here, we've got a couple of things. Bunch of things. Wow. Okay, I dropped a solid screen protector. That may actually be glass. Whoa. Now, of course, it has a screen protector on it, but I'm not seeing one. But if you want to add this screen protector, you can put it on, and that is the best screen protector I have ever seen. It's glass, folks, or really stiff plastic. Amazing. That's a surprise. You've got, it looks like a little quality certification. It passed QC. You've got wipes. Oh, cute. A wet and a dry wipe. I presume that's so that you can prepare the glass to put the screensaver on and not have any bubbles under there. The tiniest grain of sand can cause a problem. You got a screwdriver, which is what you use to remove the screws on the back to take off the SIM cover. And we've got 2 wires. We've got your standard 4-pin charging wire that will hook on like that. not super strong to hold the watch, but it's a heavy watch. And you got this one, which is a USB to micro USB. And where would you put that? Yeah, you guys are ahead of me. You put that inside on this. And inside here, there we have the charging dock. Nice, beautiful. This is where this goes in, right here, okay? This is where the watch will sit on its charger, right there. And these are not used anymore. In the old version of the original ROGBID Brave, you had to line up these holes and twist the back to take the SIM cover off, and that rendered the waterproofing less than optimal. If you didn't get it back just perfect, it could get water in there. They've really enhanced the overall water retention protection by putting in these screws, and you got the screwdrivers. So ignore those. They're not charging pins. They're from an earlier model, but they're using the same basic, I believe, 2,000, 2,200, 2,000 milliamp hour charging dock that comes with it for that price. So now, all of a sudden, $170 is looking more attractive because it includes the charging unit, the wire to go with it, everything else. That's not it. Oh my gosh! There's something else. A bag. Yeah! I guess you could carry your charger and your wires in your bag. Take them to work with you. Keep them in the car. Whatever you want. Very impressive. I have not seen that. All right. There's everything, including the overall manual, which we'll take a quick look through. Get the English version of it here. And here you go. First boot. Now this is important. I'm actually going to reboot this watch after I show it to you because there's something you need to know about first boot that's pretty critical to your overall operation and battery saving potential. Here's some more information. I'm just going to freeze frame it. Too small for me to read to you right now. How you do the SIM card, how you unscrew it. Be careful with those little screws. Be gentle, go slowly. They are tiny and could give you problems. Easy to get lost if they fall away. Your power on, return function, dial pages, and so forth. Yeah. You can do the shift between the round and the square screen. Remember, it's different in Android 10 now than it was in Android 7 on several of these different functions. So if you're used to the older Android watches, you're definitely going to want to have a little education to bring you up to speed on Android 10. I'm ready to turn it on for you. Now, there's a few things that each of the different watch companies can do in the firmware to brand it to their own unique usages. The logo is the first one. You'll notice that this has a different logo than the LEMFO logo when it boots up. It goes through that, and then it switches into the full... Nice loud speaker too. The full boot up process, which is what's happening here. And then it comes in and it loads the watch faces. And it usually has a default face, and nowadays they're getting pretty fancy by having a default face that has a live wallpaper background. So the main difference between them at this point is just the watch faces. So we're going to take a quick look at the ROGBID watch faces. That's the first one. Then they have this one, which is pretty wild. It's got like a little growing tree element to it. Now, one thing, anytime you have active wallpaper, it's obviously taking CPU cycles to do that, and so that's going to eat away a little bit at your battery. Is it a lot? Is it a little? That's something you have to determine on your own, or somebody will tell us. I'm not able to go through and do that much battery testing differentiation. Here's a third one that has a animated background for you. Personally, I wish they would have picked a better font, a little thicker. I'm having a real hard time just reading the date information down there. And it's This logo with the date and time is fixed. It's the wallpaper that changes when we change these faces. Now, after you get past that, you're getting into the stock faces that we've seen on the other Android 10 watches. I mean, all of them, pretty much exactly the same. That's one of my favorites. I really like that one. Gives you a good read of what the battery percentage is. And then, when you get to the very, very end, you get to a watch face that you can do a settings and create your own that'll have the time and date floating over a picture that you load from your gallery. That's in here. And then you get to the very, very end, and you can tap that plus sign. If you're on the internet, it's not on right now, then you'd be able to download any of the watch faces. It's on the server that feeds all of the Android watches. You can hit that little round circle, and I recommend you do that if you do anything to mess around with the watch faces. It reloads the directory and takes you right back to that very first face. Okay, so basic operation. As we've seen before, swipe down, you get the circle, shows you your Bluetooth and cellular situation, power level, and so forth. Swipe over here, you got all these controls for loudness or silent, but it does not silent the boot up sound. You have to do that in settings. Again, go to the LEM14 or any of the other Android 10, especially the Prime 2. I think we went deep into detail on all of this stuff there. Location services, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, all that is here. Airplane mode. Come up. Now you get to the new thing that shows you your step counts, the music player to play music that you have installed. Weather. By the way, in the USA, weather is not working on any of these Android 10 watches. Kind of frustrating. Hopefully they'll get that figured out. That's all you have when you do that swiping. Swiping up, you only have those two. And swiping this way gets you into your apps, of which we have phone and contacts and SMS. Again, they do not support Bluetooth calling, so this is for the SIM card that you put in the back. You got your overall settings, the watch face store, which is the same as that plus sign that we went to. Your overall desktop settings, where you can change your dial, or remember from the main you can press and hold. Either one will get you there. Menu style is a little different. This shows you how your menus will look when you're scrolling through your apps. You have 4 different styles that you can go with. I basically keep that straight front one, makes it easier for me to follow. And then you have, in addition to that, the menu, the switching style, which is what it looks like when it moves from page to page. Look at the other reviews for details on that. Browser, camera, this is a front-facing and side-facing camera. In the comparison with the LEM14, we'll go over the actual resolution. Claim 13 megapixel and 5 megapixel. Truth, well, check that review, you'll see. The calendar, heart rate monitor, all these apps are the same basic one. Optimization is good to know about in Android 10. If you have anything you want to run in the background, a third-party app, you need to go into Clean Tasks, into Battery Saver, tap on it, and if there are any third-party apps installed, you can individually activate or deactivate whether they will shut down when the screen goes dark. That's a great way to save battery, but it also really messes you up if you're expecting pushes from social apps like WhatsApp or something like that. The App Store, which is not the Google Play Store. This just gives you Facebook and WhatsApp, I think. Your fitness program, which does indeed tie into GPS. When you come over here, you can say use positioning. So it does have the latest version of the fitness in here. There's your Play Store and Google Maps and Google itself. And then the assistant is not the Google Assistant. You probably get that through Google, or you can download it separately. This is how you would connect with the WII Watch 2, which is pronounced, as I understand, We Watch, right? WII is We Watch 2 app, which you get from the Google Play Store, or use that QR code, or use the link in the show notes down below. And then you can do all these different things. Music control here for controlling the music on your phone, which is different than the music controller here that controls the music that you have installed on the watch. Got you straightened out now? That's about all we want to go into in terms of app review. And what I want to do now is completely factory restore this to show you what you need to know about this background stuff. To do that, we're going to go all the way back into settings. Again, the full review of all of these settings are covered in the other apps. What I want to cover for you right now is System, Reset Options, Erase All Data. By the way, if you have a factory update, okay, and you should check that to see if there's anything waiting for you. And to do that, you go to About the Watch, go all the way down to the bottom, and it'll have the build number. This is version 1.4 of March 11th, 2021. And here at the top, I'm moving it off screen because it goes over the IMEI number and other things that I should keep private. I hit wireless update. If I'm on Wi-Fi, it'll check it, or just hit the check button. If you have an update waiting, it'll come in here. But definitely update your watch. And as we have told you before in other videos, after you update your watch, you want to do a system reset if possible. It'll wipe everything out, so if you've got your apps and everything set up, you have to consider it. But it's really good practice when you first get your watch to erase all the data, and it may be critical for you if you're going to use this ROGBID Brave Pro, because you have one shot at including or not including the live wallpaper on your watches when you boot it up. It's the only watch I've ever seen that works like that. So we'll be back after it completely restores itself. There we go. So the first thing it's going to do is let you choose your language, and this is a good chance to scroll through, show you what languages are actually available in the watch. Good selection, it looks like. Okay. And of course, we're going to default to English for our review, which is right there. And now, our confirmation of your gender, your goal for walking, all this you can set later. So if you want to, you can just confirm what's there and go through it. Then you get this one, which of course is for setting up your tethering to the WeWatch 2 app. I can bail out of that and I can leave this. Aha. Now, when it boots up to this point, it's ready to load a watch face. But check this out. You can choose what to allow. And it's apparently got HTML on here. Plasma Tree Live Wallpaper to access the watch. You can turn that on or off, and then you can continue or cancel. So I'm going to leave it off, and I'm going to hit continue. It does this Google Play Protect thing. That's something new that happens on all of the watches. It just verifies that the apps you installed are okay. Kind of nice that it does that. It's got short timeout. And here we are with the wallpaper that does the growing tree. I can come back here to the first one, and I touched it. It's loading, I presume, or did it not take my touch? Oh, there we go. Okay, so this wallpaper is still running. This is the tree wallpaper. Well, it's still running. That's interesting. And this is the other wallpaper, and it's still running. So I didn't turn it on, but they're running in the background. So I'm not sure why we were getting that page. This is the first time I tried it to see if it actually affected it. But all three of the active wallpaper watch faces appear to be running. But they're only, we hope, running if you select that watch face. So if you select any other watch face, theoretically, you're not going to have the wallpaper running, and you might get longer battery life as a result. So that's pretty much it for the watch. We've covered everything that we're going to cover on it. It's got a short timeout, and you set all that stuff up. Get yourself on Wi-Fi, get yourself on Google set up, check the Play Store for updates, and on and on and on. A lot to do to set up an Android phone right. But You know how to do it now, right? You can pick this puppy up over at TomTop. Once again, it's looking like the specs for the ROGBID Brave are not correct. You'll see that in the comparison with the LEM14, which has corrected their specs. You're looking at probably an 1100 milliamp hour battery, a 1.6-inch screen, lower resolution cameras. But bottom line is, it's the same watch, and it's a good price. And when you get this one, you're getting the charging dock as well, and that pretty little bag that you can carry it all around with. What a little treat. Oh, and it looks like a glass screen protector, which is the first I've seen. So if the prices are comparable between this and the LEM14, it's your choice. If you need that charging dock, you can get it here. Otherwise, look to see if you get a lower price on the LEM14 without it. Basically, same watch. All right, gang. Thanks for watching. Literally. And we'll see you again soon.